Hey, welcome to Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Mike Dominguez, head basketball coach at New Mexico Highlands University. And Mike, I think this is 3 or 4 years in a row, and basketball is here. Is that a great news or what?
Ready or not, it is here. Appreciate you guys having me on. Appreciate all you guys do for not only New Mexico Highlands, but just athletes all over New Mexico and in the high school world. I wish I would have had this when I played.
Well, I tell you what, you've already started. You had your scrimmage, and I apologize I couldn't make it down there, but kind of speak on the behalf of where you're at. I know you got 9 New Mexico players, which I'm proud of. That you recruit New Mexico players and they play. Okay, so that's a good thing. But kind of talk about what your thoughts were last Friday.
Yeah, no, our scrimmage was nice. I mean, it was nice to just go against somebody else. I think our guys get tired of practicing against one another. I'm a little tired of watching it. Both teams know what the other team is trying to do. Obviously, what we're both trying to accomplish. It gets a little bit chippy at times, which is good. But it was time for us to play somebody different, and we were able to do that last Friday. And for it being our first time out against a team, a junior college team, Otero, which that was their 6th or 7th, preseason game because they get to go to these jamborees at the junior college level. I thought we did pretty well. Our guys, I thought, meshed well together. We have a lot of new guys. I mean, we only have 4 guys that played for us last year that are returning. And our rotation right now is, especially the way we're playing, because we're going to press and play up and down. We're playing 10, 11 guys. So to throw in 7 new guys that didn't play last year, I thought we did well, and the guys compete. Obviously, we're not where we need to be at, which is okay. It's still October. I would hope we're not, playing to the peak performance, but I thought it was good strides, and we accomplished some of the things that we've been working on throughout the fall.
Well, I tell you, let's talk about that new gym. Let's talk about that new floor. I mean, I was talking with a ref at the movie theater this weekend, and all they could talk about is that purple floor. So that's kind of going to be something new.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think for the most part, I think 99% of people like it. I haven't had anybody tell me they don't. It might be a little bit too much for some people, but that's okay. I thought we needed to do something different here at New Mexico Highlands that's going to make us stand out a little bit different than the teams in our conference. And I thought we did that, and our guys love it. I think we're going to be able to use it as a recruiting tool a little bit. But it definitely gives it a unique look, and I'm excited the way it turned out, and I loved it. It was something I had kind of pitched where I would, now they designed it the way they wanted it, but I was the one that kind of threw out the let's do this purple color because I got it from Memphis because they did it a couple of years ago at the University of Memphis. But it came out great, and our guys love it, and I think a lot of people will.
Well, I've got to see it I almost saw it when it was finished at a football game, but when we do volleyball games, I watch it on Comcast Channel 26, and I tell you what, it just gives you a feeling that there's something positive going on up in Highlands. I mean, it's like a refresh, like it's something to build on.
Yeah, no, it's good for our branding. Obviously, there's only us and Westminster. Out of Salt Lake are the only schools in our conference that have purple in it. So I think us embracing it and kind of being full go on it is a good thing.
Aaron just put one shot up. You don't get to see it, but he put a shot up on the screen, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I think it came out really good, and it's different. You don't see it like that, and being different is good.
Well, like you said, it becomes a recruiting, tool. I mean, your stadium. I mean, I haven't been to all the stadiums in the RMAC, but looking at film, watching film with you, and seeing things like that, I see you have a nice gym in the league. I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of.
No. There's 15 teams in our league. I would put us in the top 4 for arenas and gyms. So it's one thing we do have going for ourselves here at New Mexico Highlands.
Well, I just talk a little bit about the New Mexico kids. I don't, off your head and deal, but I think one, I got a deal. I think everybody in the state, Hill redshirted last year, Gatorade Player of the Year at Volcano Vista, win state championships at Dill. I mean, uh, uh, set out a year last year, and where do you see him right now?
I love Quan. And Quan redshirting was nothing really with Quan. I think it was more just to not really completely waste a year, because he could, like, if he needed to play for us last year, he most definitely could have. I just think we would get the most out of him, not just last year, but these next couple of years by just redshirting him, because we weren't able to do that for him as a true freshman because we needed him to play for us, which he did. But Quan is tough, man. He does everything the right way. He's mentally tough. He's mentally locked in. He understands what we're trying to do defensively. Offensively, he knows, where he's supposed to be at. He knows where other guys are supposed to be at. He's kind of a coach on the court. He's gotten better at talking and opening up, which is hard for young kids to do, especially when they're jumping from high school to college. And Quan's kind of made that leap of now communicating better and being an older guy, even though he's only a sophomore technically in the basketball world. This is our third year with him, and he's showing it. And Quan's going to be a big part of what we do, both on the offense and defensive side. But I love Quan. Nate Hasbury's another kid that plays for us a lot. He's a junior out of Cleveland High School. Same guy with between the COVID year and redshirting. I kind of lose track on how long these guys have been here, but I think he's been here 4 years. And Nate's another guy that played a lot for us last year. I think those last 14 games or so, I think he averaged 12 and 7 for us. Really good. Guards the best offensive player on the other side of the ball. Just competes. He's a 4.0 student. He was an academic All-American nominee for our conference. Great kid. I never have to worry about those kids. TJ Sanchez, another kid that played a lot for us last year. He's been here 5 years, and he's only a junior basketball-wise. He was a freshman. He was freshman of the year a couple years ago in the conference. He's another kid that's going to be a big contributor to our team. And then we have some new guys coming in with some returners: Malik Barton, Derek Chavis, Caleb Parham. We signed Yanai Wilson out of Oregon Mountain, Isaiah Maldonado out of Albuquerque High, who are freshmen. It's a good mix of guys. And like you said, our New Mexico guys, we recruit them to play for us. Them being able to be in our top 8, top 9 is a big thing for us. And they're kind of the heart and soul of our teams. And, they're our 4-year guys. They're the guys that aren't transferring. They're going to stick around. They're kind of the heartbeat of our program.
I'll tell you what, Maldonado, I didn't realize you got him. I was just looking at your roster right now, and I tell you what a score, and I covered him for 4 years at Albuquerque High, and what a run they had last year in the state tournament.
Yeah. I think they made it to the Final Four, which was good. Albuquerque High hadn't made a run like that in a while. But he's a good kid, man. He's scrappy. He can shoot it. He's going to have a chance for us down the road. He has to get bigger and stronger, which most freshmen all have to do. But he competes and he sticks his nose in there when we're playing and in practice. So I think he has a bright future for us as long as he keeps working.
And I got to speak of Malik Barton. I mean, I coached him at AU with a guy named Mike Danoff. And, you got his resiliency. I mean, he's stuck it in and worked and did. And I wish him well.
Yeah, him and Derek Chavis have been here 4 years, and and I get it. Sometimes it's hard because you don't get to reap the rewards of being around and playing right away or whatnot. And they've kind of bided their time a little bit. But Derek and Malik are both going to make the traveling squad for us. They're going to travel, which they haven't done in years past. And I think they're both good enough for us to play at times. Derek's probably one of our better shooters on the team. And if we could steal a couple minutes every game with him, And if he could hit 1 or 2 threes for us a game, that's a big deal for us. But they're both great kids. They both know what it is we're trying to do on both ends of the ball. They know who I am. They know what I want as a coach. And now they're going to have a chance to play a little bit. And they're both juniors, but I'm proud of them for sticking it out when, a lot of kids could have easily just packed it up and said the same for me.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go to the Everguard Roofing, Solar and Roofing top 10 plays of the week, and then come back and talk more about New Mexico Highlands basketball.
Blocker Duran on the left side. Gonzalez lets it rip to the right, and he has a touchdown. Number 8, Nathaniel Gonzalez.
On the pitch, it's Mitchell. Lowers the boom. He gets a touchdown. Cam has a short field here. Dyer looking on the little screen, gets it out to Parsons. Parsons through for the La Cueva touchdown on one play. Dyer goes 24 yards.
So far. Looking forward for Bigelow, Ethan Bigelow. It's the 1-on-2 and Bigelow buries it.
Here for the Hawks. Let's give it on the ground. Right up the gut. All the way inside the 5. And in for the Hawks touchdown.
Bustamori. Oh, what a save by Mason. They'll just pop that one up. Pellerin! As the Chargers just piling on right now. I think that's Evan Chang on the far side.
Hansen will give it on the ground. Gourlay bounces right, still going towards the pylon. Reach, stretch, touchdown! Gourlay! It's his third.
Jose Jaramillo in the game and complete out to the right side and rumbling and stumbling. I think that's Juan B. Hill, isn't it?
He's an offensive tackle. Right?
Man, look at Juan B. Hill.
They must have watched Detroit Lions the other. It's a wildcat.
Next side, get on his feet, 50. Oh, he has one more tackle to beat, 30. Muba is going to go for a touchdown. 74-yard touchdown run.
A little kick to the opposite side of the field that will be fielded around the 25. Room to run down the sideline, and there he goes! All the way home for the touchdown. Thought he was just going to let that one roll, but he picked it up and ran with it, and
we would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Everguard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Hey, welcome back. Steve's show. We got Mike Dominguez, head basketball coach, University of New Mexico Highlands. And I tell you, it's here. It's exciting. You got some returning players speaking their behalf, and you got some new recruits.
Yeah. So, the returners, obviously we talked about some of the New Mexico guys. And then also returning is Kennard Richardson, 6'4" wing. Played really good for us towards the end of the year. I think the last 14 games he was averaging 17 and 5, shooting a high percentage. Really good player out of Virginia. Came from Casper Junior College. He's a senior. And then Kyrie Thomas, a 5'8" guard out of Otero Junior College from Denver, Colorado. Both were honorable mention all RMAC last year. Kyrie's a good player who can really shoots it from deep. There's times where I'm probably wishing he didn't shoot it like that, but he also makes it at a high percentage, so I really can't say much. I think last year he shot 41% on 50-some made threes, which put him, I think he was top 5, top 10 in the conference. So those two guys will be big contributors with us, along with the New Mexico kids that we talked about earlier, and then some of the other transfers we signed. We signed Blesson Kimball, a 6'7" power forward center for us, out of Missouri. Came from Seward Junior College in Kansas. Really good player. I think last year, he had 12 or 13 double-doubles. Really athletic, strong, 230, can get downhill, can guard multiple positions. Ezzy Dawson out of Pearl River Junior College, really good player. Kind of built like Blesson, really athletic. We're undersized at that spot, but it's also kind of the way we want to play, because we're going to press and rotate, and we want guys that can be able to move and scramble. So those guys both fit to what it is we're looking for. And then we signed a good guard out of Michigan, DeLon, averaged about 20 a game in junior college, hit 90-some threes at about 45%, which is an extraordinary clip. He kind of gives you that feeling when he shoots it, you think it's going in. And that's a good feeling for a coach to have. Daniel Rosenberg out of Minnesota Junior College, 6'6", really athletic, can shoot the three, kind of a pick and pop 4-man. He'll make some blocks at the rim that are going to be a little bit stunning to people, because he's really long and athletic. And if he plays with a high motor all the time, he's going to be a big difference maker for us. And then we signed a freshman, KJ Lamont, out of Illinois. And we usually don't go out of the realm of signing high school kids out of the state of New Mexico. But we kind of had a connection with KJ. My assistant Andrew and his dad played college basketball together. And he's going to be a really good player for us, where, if he was in the state of New Mexico, played in high school in New Mexico last year, he would have been one of the best players in the state by far. He's a good player. He's going to be an immediate impact player. We can't redshirt him. He could go downhill. He's just been around the game a ton. He understands it. So with those guys and the returners that we talked about, I really like our nucleus, and more importantly, they're really good kids. When we get to practice, we get to practice. There's coaching. They're coachable. They're accepting the coaching, which in turn is only going to make them better players. And it's nice to be around. And I enjoy coming to practice every day.
Well, I tell you, that makes a big difference when you have kids that are coachable and you're enjoying coming in, because it's, you wear many hats. I mean, at the university, and but here's what's exciting. I mean, you get your season starts, exhibition game next Monday against New Mexico State. What do you know about New Mexico State, or are you even concerned about New Mexico State right now?
Yeah. No, we always. I mean, it's a good chance for us to prepare. It's a good chance for us to scout for our guys to. And it's a good chance for me to understand who can understand a scout on our team, so we'll prepare it like it's a real game for us. I watched them play last night. I wasn't watching the UNM game. I was watching New Mexico State. They were playing Western New Mexico. So I was watching them play. They're bigger, athletic, obviously, than what we're going to be. But the thing that they do really well is they defend. I think they held Western New Mexico to 28% shooting. They won 77-56, maybe. So it's going to be a good test for us. It's going to be a contrast of styles. which is going to be good because New Mexico State's a team that wants to limit possessions, and we want as many possessions as possible. And there's going to be teams in our league, Colorado Mines comes to mind, where Colorado Mines want the games in the 60s and 70s. We want the games in the 90s, 80s. And it's going to kind of be, who can put their will on the other team. So it's going to be a good chance for us to do that against a really good team and a team that's going to punch us in the mouth. And what I'm most looking forward to is seeing how our guys react when things aren't going well. It's easy to be a good teammate. It's easy to have excitement and juice when you're winning and you're beating a team. But do you have that same kind of fire and excitement and fight when you're down 20-10 or 30-10 or whatever it might be? That's where you find out, what kids have, what kind of character and what kind of fight. So that's the most exciting. What I'm excited to see on Monday, to see who's willing to fight when things get hard.
I'll tell you what, we're going to take a little break. We're going to come back and talk about, I think, one of the greatest tournaments there is in pregame is when you go up to Durango.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hey, welcome back. Steve Davis Show. We got Mike Dominguez, head basketball at New Mexico Highlands University. And Mike, tournament after the Mexico, I mean, you drive all the way up to Las Cruces. You drive back, and that's probably a 5-hour drive with food, and maybe even 6-hour drive with everything.
Yeah.
Then you got to get in the bus again and go right back up to Colorado. And speak on the format of that tournament that I've been a part of for the last 4 years.
Yeah, no, the tournament's nice. It's the NCAA allowed Division II to kind of play these crossover games with regional opponents, which our region is connected to the Lone Star Conference, with most of those schools being in Texas. And we're partnered up with, so it's us and Fort Lewis on our side in the RMAC, against Angelo State out of Angelo, Texas, and Eastern New Mexico, out of the Lone Star Conference. So we get to play these guys at the start of every year. We kind of rotate the venues. This year it's in Durango, which is nice. I enjoy going to Durango. It's a nice place, good food. So I enjoy being there. I like the gym. I think our guys like the gym. And we get to play against two really good teams. Eastern New Mexico obviously played really well last year, made it to the national tournament, won their conference tournament. And then Angelo State made it to the national tournament as well. They were a top 25 team all year. So it's going to be a good test for us. It's definitely no cakewalk. You could easily go 0-2. You can go 2-0, 1-1, which which kind of what we've done every year. Kind of, we've had years where we've been 2-0, we've had years where we've gone 0-2, we've gone years where we split. But it's a good test for all four of us. It's a fun time, and playing a good opponent is something that's going to help us hopefully prepare for the rest of our season.
Well, Eastern, a team that had a great success last year, and I think there's motivation on those guys that played last year. I mean, it was probably one of not your best performances, but they rebounded very well the next day and beat a ranked team.
Yeah, no. Last year was, Eastern came out and they punched us in the mouth and beat us up pretty good. And then the next night we had to play. I think Angelo State was 19th in the country at the time when we played them, and it just beat Fort Lewis. And we came out and responded and were able to beat them, which only means that we play Angelo State to start the tournament on Friday, which they're going to want to come out and get some revenge. So our guys need to be ready and prepared for them, because they're going to be a good team. They got a ton of transfers, Division I transfers. They're always going to be, have a chance to get into the national tournament every year with just their funding, and their success they've had these last 10 years. Chris Beards, the coach at Ole Miss now, was at Angelo State, 10, 12 years ago. So they've had a long line of success. So it'll be a good test for us, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, and the talent level, I mean, the RMAC is, I didn't realize how talented it is. I mean, and it's and maybe some of the best guards, I mean, in the country play on that level, that it's guard orientated. But I tell you what, the quickness and speed and the way people elevate and shoot their shots is you need to go watch it. It's just fun. It's a fun atmosphere.
Yeah, no, people don't understand the level of talent we have at this level unless you come and watch it. They think just Division II is, obviously a step down from Division I. But there's really good players. And now with the transfer portal, last year I think there was 8 kids from our conference that went Division I, to Colorado State, to Wyoming. To this year, this past year, the best player in our conference, player of the year, is now the starting forward at University of Colorado. So there's talent. So you got to bring your game every night. There's no off nights, unfortunately.
Well, I know, and I know you're excited, and talk about your assistant. Let's talk about Andrew a little bit and talk about what he brings to the table.
Yeah, no, I'm the thing that's probably the best thing about Andrew is I get to work with somebody that's one of my really, really close friends. Outside of this, we hang out a ton. He's my golfing partner in tournaments and in scrambles. So we enjoy to do stuff outside of the office. And then obviously from a basketball standpoint, he's been around the game his whole life. His dad was a junior college coach for 18 years. Was one of the first coaches in the D League, which is now the NBA, the G League, I think it's called. He was one of the first head coaches at that level. He's been a head coach in Israel for the national team. He's an assistant coach at Georgia State right now. So Andrew's been a part of basketball his whole life. So when Andrew tells me something, there's no question in it. I trust him like I would anybody else. And the thing that Andrew does is I know he's going to be loyal and he's going to do what's best for me and for our program. And that's all I want as an assistant. And then it helps that, he can recruit and help me sign good players and help keep the culture and everything we got going here at New Mexico Highlands with just having stability. Because I think I'm going on my 8th year here at New Mexico Highlands. I think he's going on his 6th.
Well, Mike, we got to come to an end. I want to thank you for coming on. Good luck this year, and look forward to seeing you over the next 6 months.
Yeah, no doubt. Long season. I appreciate you guys having us and all the work you guys do for not only us, but for every athlete here in New Mexico.
All right. Have a great day.